All right, so in this video, we're going to continue breaking down the top 10 defense stocks, but we had to break that up into three-part series. So this is part two of the three-part series. Okay, so starting with GD or General Dynamics. Okay, this company, as you can see, specializes in tanks, submarines, and electric boats and IT services. Beautiful technology. Now, what's special about them right now is when you're talking about investing, you want to talk about getting paid. And if a company is paying dividends, that's where you want to be, especially the dividends we're going to talk about here. So, March 6th, very recent news, details General Dynamics announced a 5.6% increase in its quarterly dividend to $1.50 per share. That's amazing. Just imagine if you had 10,000 shares or 100,000 shares. I know I'm reaching on that one, but getting $1.50 per share per quarter, that's amazing. But making it the 28th consecutive annual dividend hike. So they're always up in there. I'm pretty sure at one point the dividends were pretty small, like 25 cents or 50 cents. They're at $1.50 right now. This announcement typically signals financial strength. That's where you want to be when you're investing. No weak companies, no companies on the verge of bankruptcy, or no companies manipulating their earnings, and a commitment to returning value to shareholders. This is beautiful. In conclusion to what we're talking about, General Dynamics Corporation has demonstrated resilience through its recent dividend hike and strategic partnerships, contributing to a generally positive outlook despite some fluctuations in stock performance. The latest stock price indicates a recovery trend. We're going to talk about that when we get into the technicals in just a second. Aligning with positive operational developments, monitoring upcoming market conditions and sector dynamics will be essential for assessing the stock's future. Now, with the fundamentals out the way, let's talk about what's been happening. Now, of course, it's on this beautiful run, a little bit of consolidation there. No worries as he comes through and breaks up out of that in beautiful, powerful fashion. Okay. We'll talk about the retracement, the correction in just a second, because that's what everything that I'm going to talk about in the technicals is built off. But let me start by saying this is the perfect retracement. This is what you really want. Let me tell you why. Because when we measure that correction, it seems like it was pretty steep, but from that low to that high, it is exactly what you're looking for. As you see, that corrected down to the 618 golden ratio, and you see the reaction. Okay, that's how powerful the 618 is. So you got a 618 retracement. That's going to allow us to make a very, very positive projection. But I want to talk about a couple of other things before we get into the projection. One, the 618, there was structure there, was very, very major, powerful structure there, as you can see right here, and right here. So that's another reason you're finding that reaction, because price came and settled down at major structure, plus it's got a whole lot of positive fundamentals backing it. There was one more thing I want to talk about before I even consider talking targets on this one. I kind of want to stay away from that. Remember the disclaimer that came on the screen. We do not provide trading signals or trading advice or manage capital. Trade at your own risk. Consult with a financial advisor of your own choice before putting your capital at risk in these very volatile and dangerous markets where you can lose not some, but all of your capital if you don't know what you're doing. Now, with that being said, I was talking about a particular reaction that took place here. Now, I would have loved if we had one of our advanced patterns or harmonic patterns to talk about. We don't, but we do have something that's very positive and strong that I've talked about in one of our training videos, and this is the head and shoulders pattern. So this head and shoulders pattern did come down, feel kind of like to perfection, and you can see in this area reacting. Now, the good thing about the head and shoulders pattern is it will usually, typically on winning ones, take you back to retest where the basically the trigger which started the whole move. So that would have us looking at targets right back up here, and that would be around the $315 area. Now, price action has been there, so it's nothing wrong to suggest that price action might want to go there. Plus, it has the perfect run-in mate to go with it and make it happen. One is trend. Two is it has a pattern to help. Three is you can start to project the upper targets, meaning if he gets here and breaks beyond it. We're talking long term now by running a Fibonacci extension from low to high, right? And that would be somewhere inside of the 1414 extensions. It's going to be pretty. It's a long term, very, very good, way beyond a swing trade, even though I'm looking at the daily chart. But the target from where it is right now, this would be testing this part at 315 would be target 1. And then the extension, once it does break and close beyond that, we have to see what happens when it gets there. But this could see $362 in some time to come. I really can't call out the date. So that's General Dynamics. Tell me what you guys think of that. Leave a comment, at least on General Dynamics. I should have asked you guys to hit the like button if you like what I'm doing so far with this. Very beautiful, very positive stuff here. Okay, I understand the stock market is not the funnest or easiest thing to deal with right now, but we're talking investing. Okay, next up, very powerful. This one is, I don't know what to say about L3Harris. They've been kicking so much, but unfortunately, we're going to have to talk about them real quick before we talk about all the beautiful technical things that have happened. So L3Harris Technologies announced a 3.4% increase in its quarterly dividend payout. So we're talking a very strong, powerful company that's increasing the amount of dividends that it pays out per quarter. In their case, up to $1.20 per share, 24 consecutive annual quarters in which they've increased the amount of dividends that they pay out. This reflects the company's ongoing commitment to returning value to shareholders and confidence in its financial stability. Pretty good place to be. Strategic contracts. Remember, the theme of part 1 was contracts. So let's talk about contracts with L3Harris. Recently secured a contract to build Skyrider 2 fighter planes for U.S. Special Operations Command, indicating strong government support. Contracts with all the money that the U.S. government is willing to invest right now, and potential for future revenue growth. That's absolutely beautiful. Positioning, L3Harris remains a top player in the defense aero. Top player. This is where you want to be, especially when we go talk about the price point. L3Harris remains a top player in the defense aerospace sector with reaffirmed buy rating. So the analysts are coming back and giving more, reaffirming, okay, this really is a buy. Analysts highlight its robust profitability, growth, and free cash flow generation as key strength. This is all about just being a strong, profitable company. They even bought a company called Aerojet that was having legal issues. So L3Harris comes in and buys them. Okay, AJRD was their ticket symbol, Aerojet. L3Harris just bought one of these aerospace companies. In conclusion, the recent performance of L3Harris Technologies Inc. shows signs of resilience, supported by positive developments such as dividend increases and strategic contracts. Now, finally, on to the technicals. I love that it reacts harmonically. In this case, we're late to the party, but not so late to the party. I'll talk about why in a second. We missed this amazing, powerful cipher pattern. Tell me if you agree that APR, advanced pattern recognition, is king, because if we would have been looking at these defense stocks, we would have had our eyes on this bad boy, and we would have taken a ride from 166 all the way to 260. $100 increase right there on that run. That would have been in October 2023, so that would have taken a while, but wow, tremendous. Now, we're not going to be too concerned with the correction of it coming down, right? So this would have started off, this would have had us since November kind of shaky on that ride, and a lot of people probably would have closed their positions. I get that. But even if they did, the opportunity to come back in came right back around in the form of a 618 perfect golden ratio retracement. That's from this low right here to this high. Just wants to relax, drop into this very powerful golden ratio right here, and then let's just look left and see how much structure is in that area to support it. There's a lot of structure in that area, okay, a lot of structure, and there you see the reaction. You see it right there just taking off. Now, I was going to talk about the price point for a second. $211.93 is not bad at all. Remember, we're out on the macro. We're way out on the weekly. This would be long term. Remember, I told you that $100 run that it went on did take a little bit more than 2 years, from October 23, October, okay, about 2 years, and then a pullback. So what has to happen first, unfortunately, couple of things. First, you got to get back up here. First, you got to get back up here and test 265. That covers this whole entire spectrum right here. Okay. And then there might be a little bit of a problem depending on how the company is doing. He's gonna have to find a way to break and close up out of that, right? Or maybe even consolidate around. But either way it goes, it's absolutely worth getting involved in and holding on to. And again, if you, for a novice trader, new trader, or smaller account traders, or traders who might not just be able to go buy a whole bunch of shares at $211, you can break that up into fractionals, however small you want, or maybe you can find a decent options contract for it. Okay. And number 3, so this might be we might have to set this up to do a bonus on it, because I really want to talk about the next one on here. But on to number 3, and that's Leidos. So March 11th, this ethical practices recognition, March 11th, just a couple of days ago, yesterday actually, Leidos was named one of the world's most ethical companies for the 8th consecutive year. Okay, enough of that right there. Investment potential. Analysts have recently emphasized Leidos as a strong investment, citing its solid earnings growth prospects and impressive return on equity, meaning they're paying out dividends and making money as a company. Recommendations suggest adding the stock to investment portfolios due to its discounted valuation on March 12th, meaning on March 12th, whatever the price was, actually this thing is undervalued. That's beautiful, and that's where you want to be. Technical analysis, real quick, from one of my sources, technical analysis reports indicate that the stock may be technically oversold. Of course, you can see that here. We'll get to the technical, suggesting a potential for a trend reversal absolutely in play, which could present buying opportunities. Okay, this was March 21st, just a few days ago. In conclusion, while Leidos holding has recently experienced some price volatility, of course, you can see that the overall sentiment appears cautiously optimistic. Let's talk about that again. One of the reasons is because from this low right here, right? Remember, we gotta break down our technicals. From this low right here, and this correction, of course, what else did you think it was? It's a 618 retracement. Dropped right into the golden ratio. And then if you look down here, even though that looked like that was falling down, you see if I can get in front of here real quick, even though it looks like that's like a free fall. But RSI says, yeah, that fall is slowing down and it might be time to go. It might be time for buyers to come in, which you did see buyers start coming in, slowing down a little bit, but either way it goes, when you have this type of action, especially something like a 618 retracement in true Harmonic Trading Club fashion, you usually will get a retest. Now, remember, we are out on the week, so another macro, large level, long-term investment to try to get up there to 200. But they make it seem like this stock could start jumping because, remember, reports indicate that it's oversold and that it's discounted. Okay, so $200 might already be a fair value for this, but of course we might have to wait to get there depending on how much speed it picks up. So again, I am going to throw in, that was Leidos. I am going to throw in one more bonus. So this would actually give us, this will actually get us up to 7 trades, and hopefully we can run through this one pretty quick so you guys can go back, take your notes, and decide what you want to do with this information. Okay. This company right here, very, very, very powerful. What they've been doing, this is Huntington Ingalls, okay? HII, this is Huntington Ingalls. News highlights, look at what some of these companies are doing. It blows my mind sometimes. Sale of underwater vehicles, this is a couple of days ago. They achieved a significant milestone by selling over 700 uncrewed, unmanned. I didn't even know they had these. Unmanned underwater vehicles, reinforcing its position as a leading supplier in underwater technology. Let's talk contracts, right? Contracts, and dividends, of course. Military contract award. Just a couple of days ago, a contract was awarded to Hill for the development of high-energy laser weapon systems for the U.S. Army for these vehicles. That is amazing technology, indicating a strong focus on advanced military technologies. Now, a combination on the technical side of advanced patterns. APR is king. So bullish cipher pattern fills reacts, and in combination with a bullish crab pattern. So I just kind of like plotted it out. We would be a little late to the party. It would have been amazing if I had my eyes open and we could have gotten to this thing at $160. That was the price point at the time when most of this stuff was taking place, between 158 and 160. You can see the reaction again, a little late to the party, but the way that it sounds for this company, typically you can expect to come up here and test all of these levels. I'm not going to really put the prices out there, but still a great move. It's unfortunately we're late to the party. Really, really sad to see that. But anyway, so yeah. So that's Huntington Ingalls. So we ended up making 4. We ended up putting 4 in this one. But we'll move on to part 3. After this one is all done and wrapped up. Like the video if you like this information. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up so the algorithm can know to kick it out to other traders, investors, and viewers. And subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed. Why wouldn't you want to subscribe to a channel that has content and information like this? Last but not least, share it if you know anybody who might be interested in seeing information like this. Okay, so with that being said, that's all we have on this one until we come out with part 3. You guys take care of yourself, be safe in the market, and I'll see you on the next video.